On her wedding day, Charlotte was left standing alone at the altar in front of 150 guests. 5 years later, the same man walked into a meeting, not knowing the woman he betrayed had become the CEO who now owned his company. Charlotte Bennett stood alone at the front of a beautiful church in London, wearing the wedding dress she had dreamed about since childhood. More than 100 guests had already taken their seats. Soft music filled the room as everyone waited for the ceremony to begin. But the groom never arrived. At first, Charlotte smiled nervously, believing Daniel Brooks was simply running late. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. Her phone remained silent. Suddenly, her maid of honor received a message. Her face turned pale. She slowly handed the phone to Charlotte. "I can't marry you. I've gone back to someone else. I'm sorry." That was it. One sentence destroyed everything. The guests whispered. Some looked away in embarrassment. Others secretly recorded the heartbreaking moment on their phones. Charlotte felt every eye in the room watching her. She wanted to cry. She wanted to scream. Instead, she quietly took off her wedding veil, thanked everyone for coming, and walked out of the church with her head held high. That night, she made herself one promise. "I will never let this moment define my life." The following week, Charlotte left London. She accepted a small job in Manchester at a struggling marketing company. The salary was low. The hours were long. She worked while studying business management at night. She never complained. While others spent weekends relaxing, Charlotte spent hers learning new skills, building connections, and saving every pound she earned. Years passed. Her hard work finally paid off. She launched her own digital marketing agency with only 2 employees. Many people doubted her. But one client became 10. 10 became 50. Within 5 years, her company had become one of the fastest-growing marketing firms in the UK. Business magazines featured her success story. People called her one of Britain's most inspiring young entrepreneurs. Yet very few knew the pain that had started it all. One Monday morning, Charlotte received an email about acquiring a struggling advertising company. The company had lost major clients and was close to bankruptcy. After reviewing the financial reports, she smiled. "Let's buy it." 2 weeks later, the deal was complete. Charlotte officially became the new owner. On her first day visiting the office, employees gathered in the meeting room to welcome the new CEO. As Charlotte walked inside, one man froze. Daniel Brooks. The same man who had abandoned her at the altar 5 years earlier. His face turned white. He could barely breathe. Charlotte looked at him for only a second, then calmly continued introducing herself to the staff as if they had never met. Daniel could hardly focus for the rest of the day. He never imagined that the woman he had humiliated would one day become his boss. For the next few weeks, he expected Charlotte to fire him immediately. But she didn't. She treated him exactly like every other employee. No insults. No arguments. No personal conversations. That silence made Daniel feel even worse. Soon, Charlotte announced that every employee would be evaluated based on performance. Promotions, bonuses, and even job security would depend only on results. Daniel was confident at first, but the truth quickly became clear. For years, he had relied on excuses instead of improving his skills. Meanwhile, younger employees worked harder and produced better results. Week after week, Daniel fell behind. One afternoon, he finally gathered the courage to knock on Charlotte's office door. "Can we talk?" Charlotte looked up from her laptop. For 5 minutes. Daniel lowered his eyes. "I was young. I made a terrible mistake. I've regretted it every single day." Charlotte listened quietly. Then she answered with a calm voice. "You didn't break my future, Daniel. You only removed yourself from it." Her words hit harder than any punishment. A month later, the company announced the annual promotions. Daniel's name wasn't on the list. Instead, he received notice that his position would end because his performance had been consistently below company standards. The decision had been reviewed by the HR department and approved according to company policy. There were no special favors. There was no personal revenge. Only the consequences of years of poor choices. As Daniel packed his desk, he looked through the glass wall and saw Charlotte leading an important meeting with international clients. She looked confident, successful, happy. For the first time, he truly understood what he had lost. Charlotte watched him leave without saying a single word. She didn't need revenge built on anger. Her success had already answered every insult, every tear, and every broken promise from 5 years ago. Sometimes, the greatest revenge isn't making someone suffer. It's building a life so successful that they realize they never deserve to be part of it. Would you forgive someone like Daniel, or would you do the same? Share your thoughts in the comments.